Hey, Coach. The last time we talked to you, we talked about the offense trying to get Jameer Calvin a little bit more involved with what you guys were doing over the last couple of weeks. Do you feel like, as an offensive staff, you've been able to sort of game plan for some things to get him more involved?
Yeah, that's something we definitely have been trying to address with this time off that we've had. The thing with the run and shoot offense is it's going to get dictated by what the defense is playing, how what they're giving us. But we are trying to do more to get him some opportunities to get more touches and get him involved more.
And as you sort of prepare for USC and watch on film, do you see any major position, maybe mismatches that are in your guys' favor that could work on Sunday?
They're very good defensively. I love our skill players in our O line, and I'm anticipating a real great battle with them. And we're just excited to get a chance to play football again.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right. Next question, Cody from the Evergreen. Go ahead, Cody.
Hey, Coach. Nick Rolovich told us yesterday that Max Borghi is back and practicing. Obviously, unsure of whether he'll play in the game. But have you guys, as a staff, kind of talked about how you plan on incorporating both running backs, him and Dion, if and when Max is able to step on the field again?
Yeah, in the future when he is cleared for us, having a rotation with those two is going to be very advantageous for us. Having two backs that are proven to be successful in this conference is going to be huge, and being able to keep both guys fresh and have two different types of backs as well. I'm not going to go say into total specifics on what that looks like, who does what, but I do anticipate both those kids getting opportunities to touch the football in the future.
And another player that missed the Oregon game was Calvin Jackson Jr. He seemed optimistic about his ability to come back. Is he a guy we can expect to see this weekend, or is he still not back yet?
Right now he's still going through the medical protocols. So we're kind of taking our time with him.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
All right, other questions for Coach Smith? All right, Theo Lawson from the Spokesman Review. Go ahead, Theo.
Hey, Brian. Right now, Renard Bell and Terrell Harris are currently the top two receivers in the Pac-12 as far as yards per game go. What do you think? Both of those guys have been so successful in the run and shoot offense, and what does it kind of work for both of those guys, especially being slot receivers?
Yeah, I think the thing that helped them the most early on was those were two guys that completely bought into what we were doing as an offense and philosophically, and have really kind of soaked up, everything that we're doing as far as how we're teaching the offense and, the selflessness of how they can help get each other open and how they have the ability to create opportunities for themselves at the same time. Athletically, both those guys are extremely dynamic, which is what we look for in the slot position. Guys that have a combination of speed and twitch. Both are very competitive. Love getting the ball in their hands, love winning, have the ability to make something happen with the ball in their hands once they get it. Those are all things that have allowed them to be successful so quickly within our offense.
Does the offense generally run through the slot players more than the outside guys, or is it just maybe more of a year-to-year thing, depending on who you have?
It's a week-to-week thing. It depends. Sometimes it's the personnel, and then sometimes it's strictly just how the defenses are playing us. There's a lot of times where we've gone from a slot catching for 200 yards and a couple touchdowns, and then the next week one of the wideouts is catching for 200 and a couple touchdowns. And it depends on how teams are playing us, what they're trying to take away, and then that's what we can expose.
Any other questions for Coach? All right, Cody from the Evergreen. Go ahead, Cody.
To kind of elaborate on that, Coach, obviously the USC secondary is very talented, and Rolovich kind of talked about their ability to match up with your receivers. So what do you expect kind of the looks to be, and how do you think they match up with your guys on the outside and in the slot?
Yeah, I mean, their personnel is good. They're going to have speed just about all over the place. So we anticipate them. They do like to play man. We anticipate them playing us a good amount of man and trying to mix their personnel to match up with the speed that we put on the field. But I think that there is a lot of talent, a lot of speed there, and our guys are excited for that opportunity to compete.